everyone! How are ya? This one is really influenced by my years as a specialist teacher. I'm thinking about rewiring the education system and thinking about how fidgets fit into that picture. But in general, we're up, we're moving, we're touching things, we're showing things.
What I'm hearing here is that actually it could be those low-level behaviours that we didn't quite notice.
It's like knowing when to sort of reevaluate it or push through.
What's something we can do together? So it's us before it's you.
So we're going to move on, and I want to ask you about pathways.
Can I get a whoop whoop? Ooh. A whoop. Sounds okay, we'll come back. Be ready.
You have clearly broken down pathways in your book. Can you summarise for anyone who hasn't read it yet or know about it yet?
That's a weird crew. But for people listening, do you know what? And I just wanted to do a shout out for Tam for this, because I started developing pathways, I want to say 2020, and I was doing Instagram lives with it. And I remember, Tan, you were such a champion from the beginning. You were like, Jen, this is it. And she was doing Instagram lives with me. So it has been a bit of a journey, hasn't it?
It has.
And the concept of pathways seems very simple, because ultimately you're mapping out a way forward with the child. But even though it seems wildly simple, there's so much research behind it. So we've got intrinsic motivation, which I know we're going to dive into in a little bit. We have got predictability, which I know we love speaking about, but it also backs into research with productivity, which I didn't know about for a long time. But the first 2 minutes of doing a task is the hardest in terms of momentum. And often in classrooms, we go, you just got to start, and we leave them to do it. But actually that first 2 minutes of just really giving them that boost and that push will give them that momentum to get through. We know it goes into cognitive load, chunking each step, growth mindset, seeing yourself, making that progress. It's about meeting needs and supporting children so that they can achieve, which we know, again, it's about that theorize to systemize. It's like, we want every child to succeed. We want to adapt for every child. And pathways is that kind of system to do that. And it also links to visualization. It's very much like, if I can see the end, then I can do it, which sounds a bit Disney, but it is. It's like, yes, I can see it. And it uses all of this research, but it's so practical. And it's one of the most loved strategies within TGMC, and people will just do it directly on tables. And we see that instant impact specifically with engagement and the learning, starting the learning. And often members will say to me, yeah, the goal was 2 sentences and they did a page, because all of that research shows that they've seen the progress, that they're feeling intrinsically motivated, they're getting that dopamine. And that's how it works. It really pushes that engagement through.
Thank you, Jen. I see. And the reason why I love it so much was because it's visual. It's there as well. And can you give me an example of that engagement and how it ensures that engagement in a classroom?
Yeah. So if you are thinking about a child not starting the learning, sometimes it can feel too big. It can feel too abstract. So it's about taking it step by step. And actually talking to schools about this, sometimes that step is regulation mapping. Sometimes that step is, okay, what do we actually need in order to succeed here? Do we need a little calm backpack? Do we actually need a fidget? Do we need a drink of water? And sometimes that's just your first step. It's like putting coffee on your to-do list. You're like, oh, this is a win already. And then it's about, okay, what's something we can do together? So it's us before it's you. So maybe it's, oh, okay, I'll do the sentence starter, or let's build that sentence together. Boom, we're on to the next step. And then it's giving them that support for the last step. So in maths, maybe it's manipulatives, maybe it's a word bank. And now using this, can you go? Maybe it's a sound button. Gosh, I love a sound button. And then suddenly we've gone from a blank page to 2 sentences. And that's why we see that increase in engagement.
So what you're showing us is that it really allows that space for that strategy we've had on our to-do list for a really long time. And going back to the routines that we spoke about as well, it's about making that time for that. And I think it's about building that confidence to be able to take that step and try that strategy as well.
Yeah.
So I had the pleasure of going to the Netherlands with you, where we got to speak about the pathways, we got to explain the pathways, and I saw it from your lens, and I saw you kind of look at different ones that were in place. So tell me, Jen, for anyone who's now interested in trialing pathways, what would you warn them about, or what are the common misconceptions about pathways?
I think a common misconception is seeing it as you would as a behaviour strategy. It's not a replacement for that. And what I mean by that is sometimes there could be negative goals or negative destinations, like, so we're not going to call out or our goal is not to chat or not to get distracted. That doesn't tap into intrinsic motivation or collaboration. Yeah, the child's not like, let's get going. I'm feeling pumped up. So it's making sure we're ensuring it's a positive goal. The next one is, it's really easy to just turn it into another success criteria. They're like, so as you can see, the first thing is the capital letter, and you're just doing it on a pathway. If a child isn't starting the work, then they need additional support. They need it to be chunked. They need manipulatives. They need you there for a little boost. So they might need a regulation break. So it's incorporating that. It's meeting the needs, not repeating the success criteria. And the last one, again, which I think is really hard to get rid of because it's so ingrained in our system, is avoiding rewards in it. So when we're saying, some people will say, okay, great, we'll get through this and then you can have a fidget. Actually, they might need the fidget in order to get through it. The same way, I was talking to a school about this recently, the same way as we think of the toilet. And I know the toilet, we have our own chats about that. But just, I'm going to go past that for a sec. But if we think for ourselves, like, right, after I've marked 15 books, I'm going to reward myself by going to the toilet because I am desperate and I haven't been since 8 a.m. Those books, and I know that we've all done that, by the way, those books aren't marked to the best of our ability. We're not feeling great about ourselves, okay? It's not good. So actually, it's not about seeing that need as an end goal and an output. That has to be embedded as getting the needs met first. I'm going to go to the toilet because I need to go. Then I'm going to mark the books. So it's about seeing that for our children as well, seeing what their needs are, why they haven't potentially started, and getting that need met first.
Meeting needs isn't a reward. It's a right.
Exactly. Yeah, sounds like a good next t-shirt.
I can imagine it. Oh yes, I'll get crafting.
Make it working, boots.
Oh yeah.
Jen, thank you. I think what I'm hearing is that it's bespoke, but what I also love to see, and I've completed with pupils, is that metacognition that it can build for them, where they create their own pathways in their own education. And as you know, I work with secondary sixth formers sometimes, so it's really interesting how they can build on that to support them with their learning too. So yeah, we love pathways.
We do indeed. Can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop. That was better.